What? Bang!
Whoa! Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep screwed rep.
Yeah!
Woo! Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it?
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for... It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, look, are you sick and tired of dropping $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 even sometimes on the latest and greatest wrestling video game? You got to stop doing that. Put that money back in your pocket and instead grab Wrestler Unstoppable totally free online. All you got to do is go to app.wrestlerunstoppable.com, pick up a new account. You get to create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now, totally free. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shout-outs like my good buddy John down in Texas, then you got to pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. We do have loyalty rewards. If you are a $15 a month contributor, you get to co-host with me one episode. If you are a $7.50 a month contributor, you get entered into a drawing to also co-host a show with myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you got questions, comments, something you want me to touch on in the future episode, the best way to let me know that is to call into the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and I will get to those questions, comments, and concerns in a future episode. Today, we are recapping all the happenings on WWE SmackDown, and I'm actually going to save my favorite segment of the night for the end. I'll get to that later, but I got to get into it right away. The whole Cody Rhodes CM Punk thing, after having the match that they had at the show, I really expected there to be less brotherly love, so to speak, in this back and forth interaction. You know, CM Punk right away telling Cody whenever he's ready for a rematch, whenever you're ready, say when for another match. I appreciate that, and I hope it's something you revisit at some point in time. However, I'm not really looking forward to Cody jumping into the World Championship picture again so soon, because you still need to keep Cody as one of those attractions that is just main events without having to have the World Championship. It gives you more premium matches for your PLEs, having him in a match and having the championship in a separate match. So right now, I don't need to see him in the World Championship picture, and I love the fact that Kevin Owens is going to be that guy who is the one who comes out to break up the little love fest between Cody and Punk. I thought it was very respectful between Cody and Punk, but you were just tearing each other's heart out at the pay-per-view, PLE or whatever. You would think it would be a little more tense. When KO comes out, here's the thing. Historically speaking, Kevin Owens is not a huge fan of CM Punk because he's good friends with the Young Bucks, and there's obviously bad blood there. I don't know if what they put out there between KO and Punk is... how should we call it? Is it a work shoot situation? Does he really believe the things he was saying to Punk? Calling him stuff that I won't repeat on here because I don't need YouTube to flag me or any other streaming service to flag me for having profanity. But, what was interesting is that there was really no physicality, a little shove. They did have a pull apart. It looked like they were going to go at it. They didn't go at it, which I really think they probably should have. I think it would have been more successful had they done that. And then instead what we end up with is a very mild lead into their championship program. Kevin Owens is the number one contender. He's going to get a championship match, and they touch on that later in the show. I really would have liked to see them come to blows. And if they weren't going to come to blows, then don't have the pull apart, because the pull apart's going to take away from when they actually do go to war. Like, you didn't throw a punch tonight, but we have everybody in the world come out to try to break the two of you up. When you actually start throwing punches, are we going to just have people run out every single time somebody gets physical? It's professional wrestling. They're supposed to get physical. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. But I'm glad they're doing the feud. I think the feud is necessary. It's important. I forgot to mention when Cody first got in the ring, he was calling out Randy Orton, and Orton did not respond to his call out. That'll come into play later in the evening. We get into the rematch from SummerSlam, Baron Corbin defending the United States Championship against Trick Williams. And again, in this match, I mean, look, the match was fine. I don't have any problem with the match. It's a good television match. But Trick Williams ends up having a dispute with the referee, which leads to the use of the championship belt by Baron Corbin so he could pick up the retention. And I know I'm in the minority. A lot of people were frustrated that Baron Corbin won the championship to begin with. I never thought Baron Corbin got enough of an opportunity his first run in WWE, and I see him as a much bigger star, I think, than a lot of other people do. And that's just my flavor, my take on it. I have no problem with him being United States champion. In terms of Trick Williams, I feel like Trick still has a lot to work on, a ton to work on. I'm not saying he's not a great talent. I do think he's one of the future corner pieces of the company. But I'm okay with him not being United States champion. This was another time where, at least from a match perspective, he shows his inexperience by getting distracted by the referee. I shouldn't really say that because it happens in matches all up and down the card. But, you could chalk it up to the inexperience in terms of storyline. And he loses the match here, loses the rematch. So now, hopefully, he moves out of that United States Championship picture for a little while, because similar to the Cody thing, he's been in that picture for a little while now. Let's get somebody else in there for a little while, and then mix it up again later on. When absence makes the heart grow fonder. Same thing for champions. When you don't have a belt for a while, like right now, if we put the World Championship back on Cody right now, I think everybody would poo-poo it. If you don't let him have it for a year, people might be much more on board with him getting it back. So same thing applies here. I think Trick having the championship the way he's had it, you don't need to have it on him right now. I think it would behoove to leave it on Corbin for a little bit and let him lead into another feud. From there, Kevin Owens in the back, a face-to-face with Sami Zayn. Looked like it was going to get tense. Nick Aldis is there. Kevin Owens makes it clear he wants to challenge for the World Championship on August 21st in Toronto. The question is, do you do a title switch there? You just did the rapid-fire switch from Cody to Sami to Punk. Do you really do it again and put the championship on KO? I'm not sure. I think it depends on your long-term plan. I'm not a big fan of it. However, and this kind of goes to what I'm going to talk about in a future episode related to LA Knight, and I'll say the same kind of thing here. LA Knight, Kevin Owens, certain wrestlers, even Sami Zayn, even though he just had that 9-day reign, they're the kinds of guys that they don't get their time to shine with the championship belt very frequently when you're always putting them on Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Or in this case, CM Punk. So it would be nice to see Kevin Owens get the championship. He hasn't had, I think the last time he held one was the Universal Championship way back in the day. That championship's been gone for a couple years. So, I really think it would be nice to see KO get that, especially since he spent so much time chasing Roman and other things. Having that beautiful feud with Cody before his injury. It'll be a great comeback story. They'll be in Toronto, so talk about WWE always trying to make moments and profit off of moments. It would work. But I don't like hot potatoing the championship belt around. I think that's a bad thing for the belt itself. From there, in the back, Carmelo Hayes attacks Trick Williams in the middle of an interview, making it clear that he'll be challenging for the United States Championship the following week. I'm okay with Carmelo getting into the picture, getting a shot. That's a match we haven't seen really, a one-on-one quality match between Carmelo and Trick Williams. So I'm okay with the matchup. The problem is, with Corbin's size and lack of history with Carmelo, unlike Trick Williams, because Trick Williams is a big dude too, but he and Carmelo had a lot of history. There isn't the same history with Baron Corbin. I hate to say it because I love Carmelo Hayes as a talent. I don't see him on the same level as Baron Corbin in terms of stature and believability. And you have to be able to find a way to make us suspend disbelief that we all know that this is predetermined and all that kind of stuff. But this is not a Rey Mysterio conquering like Mark Henry kind of thing. I just don't feel it right now. Carmelo had the championship, did some good things with it. I don't need him in that championship picture right now. As a matter of fact, I would almost argue it would behoove to have him do some other more unique things he's never done before rather than win the United States Championship. Have him be in the AAA promotion for a match or two, just to get some experience in front of a different kind of crowd or whatever. There's a lot of things they could do, but I just don't see him being a credible challenger for the U.S. Championship. And if they do, then again, it turns into a hot potatoing of a championship belt. And that always, in my opinion, takes away from the validity of the championship. I don't really want to see that. From there, Chelsea Green celebrating her championship win. And we got to point out that on commentary, they referred to her as the women's champion, the women's WWE champion. They did not use the phrase interim. And maybe that's because in the news this week, it was announced that Rhea Ripley has had knee surgery, that they were hoping to avoid that, but they couldn't. So she's going to be out for an extended period of time. So perhaps she's going to have to relinquish the women's championship, and Chelsea Green may actually be your full-fledged women's champion. Now, they didn't clarify that completely, but the terminology they were using was very interesting. Maybe they're hoping wrestling fans are so stupid that they won't pick up on the word change, because WWE believes that sometimes, but people like you and I, we know that it was supposed to be interim, and now it's weird that they didn't say the interim when she was coming out. So Chelsea Green comes out, has a little bit of a celebratory moment, thanking people. Tiffany Stratton comes out. I almost said Trish Stratus. Oh, my goodness. Tiffany Stratton comes out. There's definitely tension there. There really is tension there, and I'm sure we're heading towards a match between the two, which I am not a fan of because they both are championship holders. But before things get going too much, they get interrupted by Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence, for as much as I feel like they have been misbooked since coming to the main roster, the first couple weeks were perfect, and then it went down the toilet. This was solid for me. You know, getting them back into the picture. Chelsea Green is somebody you can believably expect to see JC Jane defeat for the championship if they want to go that route. But on this night, they're going to give Green and Stratton a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship. Based on outside interference, of course, they're going to retain the championship. There's no championship change here. Green and Stratton do fall victim. Green picking up the pinfall loss. And then after the match, Nia Jax and Lash Legend attack. I'm kind of over them as a tag team. I stated on a previous episode, I really thought Lash Legend would have been perfect to win the Women's Interim Championship and then have a feud with Nia Jax. They don't need them together. And Lash legitimately could be a monster babyface or monster singles heel in the women's division in the future. But they got to be willing to pull the plug on that. Instead, she's kind of pigeonholed into this tag team with Nia, which has never really been explained, you know, other than just a couple big girls who, you know, want to run roughshod over everybody. But if that's the case, give them the belts and be done with it. And they shouldn't be attacking Green and Stratton. They should be attacking Fatal Influence. It's whatever. It is what it is. Unless you're going to have Nia go against Chelsea and you're going to have Lash go against Stratton, whatever. I guess they can go and do that. It'll fill up more weeks of television. We'll get the same monotonous matches every week, but 'tis what it is. Orton does then come out to address the crowd without any hesitation. Cody Rhodes come out. Orton slides out of the ring. They have some back and forth banter. Orton talking about how smug and cocky Rhodes has become, things like that. The line that I love in this back and forth interaction that does not get physical is Cody Rhodes saying, "Who's going to be the one to kill the Legend Killer?" And that's very intriguing to me because you know that Randy Orton had that massive back injury. It took him out of action for over a year. He is getting up there in age. Let's be honest, he is. For as amazing as his career has been, you know, they always say that like Father Time is undefeated. At some point, you have to call it a career. Is this building towards Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes where Cody is not going to just beat Randy, but actually possibly end the Legend Killer moniker? Could he be the one to end his career? Now, I hope they don't. You got somebody who ends careers right now, and that would be Gunther. We got to flip Randy back and have Gunther end it if you're going to end it. That's just my opinion. But I'm okay with another match between the two. No Pat McAfee conversation like there was at Mania. Just a straight up great feud between the two. I would love to see, and it gives Cody something valuable to do outside of the World Championship picture. I am shocked that we haven't heard anything about WrestlePalooza because that was in September last year. I thought they would have been doing that. Apparently they're not this year. I don't know when they're going to move WrestlePalooza to. If you remember, that was supposed to be like a rival, like a fall version of WrestleMania. Now, obviously that's not the case, or else they'd be hyping it already. And instead, you know, we're going to have these matches for what? Money in the Bank in October? Are we going to do it on a Saturday night's main event, which I think is short selling how important the match would be? Are we going to do it at Worlds Collide AAA show or something like that. I hope not. That would be even worse. It'd be great for the show. It'd be terrible for the storyline, but I don't know. I love that they're doing it. I just don't necessarily love how they're setting the thing up. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. We do get a vignette in the back where Nikki Bella is blaming Paige for the loss, blaming her for the injury to Brie Bella, who we know has a broken scapula. She'll be out for like probably 6 months is the good estimate. And that, I get it. I'm dealing with a torn labrum myself right now. It's these injuries suck, They take you out of action. You want to be back in the ring. So this is a great storyline. The problem is, it is very obvious that they were planning a tag team match with AJ Lee, and now that's got to be put on hold. So how do you get AJ Lee, especially at the salary that she's making, back on TV now that the Bellas one of them is injured again? I'm not sure where you go from there. Obviously, we're going to get the singles match here. Is Brie going to be able to be at ringside or something that makes sense where she could be on TV? I don't know. But this was very strange for me. And then we get to the main event of the night. And I love that the ladies got the main event. I really do. I'm a little surprised that they did Jade and Charlotte on a non-PLE show, since they were building so much to having that be a PLE match. The match is solid, but it's not even solid for the Charlotte Flair Jade. Jade actually had so many botches in the match, it was ridiculous. I don't know how long she's going to wrestle before. It's almost like she's worse than Nia Jax in terms of the botches she has. She's just not crisp and fluid with it. And I get the impression she wants to be good at it, and she wants to do this. But I don't know if she has the level of commitment that some other wrestlers do to figuring out how to do it in a way that doesn't come off with all these botches. I really don't know. But the match itself is okay, so to speak. When Charlotte puts Jade into the figure 8, there's some outside interference. B-Fab distracts the referee so that Michin can get involved. And then we see the return of Alexa Bliss with Lily, the doll. As she comes to the ring, the lights going out was... I did not know what to expect. I was expecting maybe something, I hate to say it because they're not in the company anymore, but I was pulling for like a Wyatt relationship somehow to be a part of this. And instead, we get the main roster debut of Tatum Paxley from NXT coming up to the main roster, diving crossbody on B-Fab and Michin, taking out the baddies. This was awesome. And I am so happy for Tatum Paxley. If you come to the main roster and you're paired with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, talk about a dream scenario for a new talent. And I think this is great for her. I really do. Congratulations to Tatum Paxley on getting the call up. I think it was a great way to end the show, and it puts her over as a legit star when you're in the main event. Even though it's not your match, it was still a great moment for her. And then somebody may notice that when I was going through all this with SmackDown, I did skip over one thing, and that's my favorite part of the night. Those who have been listening to my show for quite a long time know that I am a fan of all professional wrestling. I'm not just a WWE guy. I'm not an AEW guy. I'm not a TNA guy. I'm not a New Japan guy, but I will say I love it all. And I really, for a long, long time, have loved New Japan Pro Wrestling. So the fact that we got a vignette with Shinsuke Nakamura talking about he's not coming alone. Oh my goodness, I got goosebumps. Now, for a long time now, there's been a rumor that Hiromu Takahashi is coming, which I would be surprised to see him go straight to the main roster. I would expect him to be an NXT guy. He could be NXT champion. But if they indeed are bringing Takahashi in and Nakamura needs people, do you pair Nakamura with Balor and Takahashi? Do you just pair him with Takahashi? Do you bring up Naraku from NXT, the former Evil in New Japan, and have the three of them be something? I don't know, but the MFTs have been put on notice. This is going to be cool, and I love that, with the MFTs having Meng in the fold, Haku in the fold, there's so much they could do here. I was not into this at all a couple weeks ago. Now, I'm very much looking forward to Shinsuke Nakamura getting a chance to be in a much more important feud, giving him something of substance to do. The guy is not a spring chicken. I get it. He's up there in age. They're going to have to do things that matter and really make an impact. This, I think, could be really cool. My favorite part of the show. Overall, the show is pretty solid, in my opinion, top to bottom. Could have been better, could have been worse. So it's not like a 5 out of 5 show. I give it 3.5 stars if I was doing like a 5-star thing. But definitely interesting. And I can't wait to see where they go. It seems like they're hitting a lot of a reset button, basically, after SummerSlam. Already possibly building to WrestleMania season, setting seeds up and things like that. So we'll have to wait and see where things go. But for now, That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next time and check out the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, go out to Suno for creating the music and sound effects I use in the show. If you want to bring a new friend to family game night, it's easy. We got 3 options for you. Sketchy People by Beezle Games. We've got Banani Market by Doodle Games. And we've got Legendary Elements by Foo Games. All 3 available at thegamecrafter.com. You got to check them out. These smaller game companies sometimes offer some of the most fun family excitement. Just give it a shot. Pop on any one of the 3 and grab a copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you need just some formal training for your next career decision, go to my website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.